Congressman Doggett, thank you so much for joining us. So much tragedy going on right now from the West Coast. We have an impending ice storm about to hit Texas pretty hard. I wanted to talk to you out of the gate about the Texas grid. Do you think we're ready to handle this? You know, there's so much PTSD from 2021 and 23.
Well, I certainly hope so. All of us suffered through that. I was there. All of our power was off for days. I hope they're better prepared this time than they were then. But I think what we're seeing with intensified weather, with sudden storms, with this apocalyptic development out with the fires in California, are the effects of the climate crisis. And this will intensify if we don't do more to address the climate crisis.
Now, as we go into the energy sector in Texas and specifically in Austin, you secured $15 million for new charging stations for EVs. How did you get that done? And what is the end goal here? To be more sustainable?
Well, certainly to be more sustainable, to lower costs for people that go electric, for us to not only clean up our environment and global climate emissions there, but to provide convenience so that people all over Travis County will be able to get access to an electric charger whenever they need it and wherever they need it. I worked on the infrastructure bill that we approved several years ago and supported and urged Austin Energy to apply for this money, and I'm really delighted that we got it. We are going electric in Travis County, and I think we'll be much the better for doing so.
Do you think as these initiatives come down the pike and we deal with the energies needed for AI and nuclear power that Texas will be a leader, and specifically what's happening in Austin in terms of high tech?
Well, I think it's really important that we have an adequate energy supply and that it's at an affordable price. You know, President-elect Trump has said that he's going to cut our energy cost in half. And I think many people are expecting him to do that, and I hope that he'll be able to deliver.
You know, as we're looking at the West Coast now, I have not seen so much tragedy and such a fast-moving fire. 2 fires out there right now, so many people under evacuations. What do you think the federal response is going to have to be to that?
Well, we need to respond quickly with as much support as we can through FEMA. That's the support we relied on a much smaller scale when we had the Bastrop fires a few years ago and some of the terrible floods that affected San Marcos and other parts of central Texas. And that needs to be done without regard to politics. And so I hope we'll see the kind of support that these individuals need. It's horrifying to see people escaping their houses so quickly that they abandon their vehicles and block the roads. So I hope we can come through quickly with action beginning in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, those people are going to need a lot of help. Now, turning to national security, you know, Texas is in the spotlight all the time. We have the Cotton Bowl coming up. We have a lot of big events in this state. And after seeing what happened in New Orleans, what's the focus now for national security and security in Texas?
Well, I think it's really important that the focus be on securing our families wherever they are. These were horrifying events, and now is not the time to destroy the Federal Bureau of Investigation and our other federal security agencies with political purges and going after political adversaries. So I've been troubled by some of the people that have been named to head these organizations, that they might be more bent on political revenge than protecting our families. And I hope the Senate will scrutinize them carefully and that we will support those people that are on the front lines of assuring our security.
And President Trump, or Mr. Trump, who's about to be president, inaugurated here in about a week, is starting to lay the groundwork and send a message to the world. What is your thoughts on that, talking about taking over Panama Canal, Greenland, and things like that?
Well, I have to say that while I'm concerned about that, and I think criticism and attacks on our allies are not helpful, my main concern is economic. In the same press conference yesterday, he announced that we were going to see drastic reduction in the price we pay for ham and bacon and other food items. and I want him to deliver on that. I hope that he can. I'm troubled that he's proposing what seems to me to be a grocery tax by putting a 25% tax or tariff on all the produce that we get from Mexico. So I know when I go down to the local grocery store to buy an avocado or tomato, I don't want to have to pay 25% more because of a Trump tariff. And I hope he'll reconsider that and will focus on delivering on these calls to lower prices and to control inflation.
Getting back to Austin now in Central Texas, what do you think is the biggest priority for this region?
Well, we are so fortunate to have the economic growth that we do. I want to continue supporting our technology industry. The tremendous amount of resources that we have secured in Austin, not only this week for those electric charging stations, but for the literally billions of dollars that will be flowing for semiconductor chip manufacture as a result of efforts that we made in the last Democratic Congress. I'm also concerned about our educational system and providing the workers and the quality of life that people who go through public education in Texas should receive. Governor Abbott really kind of held our public schools hostage over his voucher plan, and I see education support from pre-K to post-grad as being really critical to our area. We also still have some health needs. The work that I do on the health subcommittee is directed toward assuring that people can get access to a family physician through the Affordable Care Act. We have new developments there with record number of people, record number of Texans that have signed up for the Affordable Care Act health insurance plans, and I want to sustain that.
And before I let you go, I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on former President Jimmy Carter and the remembrances that have been happening this week.
Well, long ago, as a young state senator, I met Jimmy Carter before he ran for president out at Allendale Baptist Church in North Austin. He was there to preach, but also I think to lay the groundwork for his race for the presidency. He did some important work. He had some shortcomings as president, but we've never had a former president do a better job after leaving office. The work that he's done in fighting disease, in promoting human rights around the world, and seeking fair elections is really impressive, as well as the work that he's done right there in Texas on Habitat for Humanity, trying to get a roof over the heads of those who might not otherwise even dream of having their own home. So I'm going over now to pay my respects in the rotunda of the Capitol as his body lies there in state, and I think all of us should take a moment to remember a man who contributed, along with his wife, so much to our country and to the world.
Congressman Doggett, thank you so much for your time.
Great to talk with you. Thank you.